Over the last few days, Solana's price has finally started to cool down after a 40% correction due to a bunch of bad news. And so with that said, today I want to give you just another update of what I am expecting to happen over the next few days and how, of course, we can go about it. So with that being said, let's not waste any more time at all and let's get straight into today's video. So looking at Solana here, we can see that its price has cooled down a pretty good bit, especially after this major correction that we did see last week. Of course, last week we did see Solana's price fall nearly 42.5%, which was absolutely disgusting. No one liked to see that, of course, unless you're a Solana bear, but it definitely wasn't a good time. But at this given point, again, as I mentioned before, things do seem to have kind of calmed down a little bit, and so I want to let you know what I am expecting to happen next. Well, at this given point, although things are still feeling a little bit bearish, I am getting a little bit more optimistic, and I actually am preparing a few purchases. Now, I'm under the belief that Solana is setting itself up to actually see a bounce to the upside soon. One of them could be macro, one of them could be micro. Let me explain to you what I mean by this. So I'm under the belief that based off what we're seeing here on this daily chart prime oscillator, that Solana is preparing itself to get a move back to the upside. I believe that we're finally establishing a foundation towards this oversold region, or this little green bar region, in which typically speaking we will get a pretty substantial move to the upside. Of course, we're getting these green reversal triangles here, we're getting these yellow oversold boxes printing here. Of course, our ribbon is starting to twist as we're approaching this green box area, which is the oversold area, and as of course many things do point to say that Solana could get a bounce back towards the upside. Now, the question then becomes, how does that bounce happen? Let me show you the two ways that this could play out, and I'm very confident it's going to play out one of these ways, and you're going to be prepared for it when it does happen. The first one is the way that I hope this doesn't go, okay? The way that I hope this doesn't go is that I hope we don't get some short-term establishment of support here and get a bounce back up towards $18 to retest the bottom side of that descending channel we were in. I think that there is a strong possibility that this could happen. Of course, you can see here that we did bounce off of this macro 618 to 786 zone, and we're also holding a ton of support right now in this high liquidity zone that we highlighted way before this pullback happened. And so of course, if we're capable of holding this zone, if we're capable of using this establishment of foundation right here to backtest back up towards the bottom side of this box, it wouldn't shock me if we got rejected and then forced right back to the downside. Okay, I think that there is a strong possibility that if we do immediately right now come back up towards the top side of here, that we will get this pullback again, because what we have to remember is that there will be some type of sell-off, very likely as a result of Robinhood selling all of the Solana, Matic, and Cardano that they're holding. Of course, we can see here that they do have plans to make that sell happen. Users can buy and sell these tokens until then and can transfer these tokens to other crypto wallets as well. However, after that date, any Robinhood account holding Cardano, Polygon, or Solana in their Robinhood account will automatically sell the tokens and be credited with the funds. I would be shocked if the selling of these funds, the selling of ADA, the selling of Matic, the selling of Solana does not cause the price to go down at all. I would genuinely be shocked if that happened. I think that there's a high likelihood people are going to get nervous in anticipation of this, and as a result of it, they're going to likely sell some of their crypto thinking that they can buy it at a lower price. Now, I don't think it's going to be catastrophic. I don't think it's going to be destructive. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to send the price down to $7. I don't think any of that's going to happen. It could happen, but I don't think it will. I think people are actually going to get faked out by this. I think the price is going to pull back a bit, but people are going to start to eat it up rather quickly as they rebuy their positions. But of course, this is all speculation. But with that in mind, if we are in a position in which the price does bounce back to the upside near immediately, and we start to get a return back up to, say, this little $17 to $18 range, and then that sell-off from Robinhood does happen, that's when I could see this stronger pullback and capitulation happening, which of course would be much more devastating for the price, because then we really could start to continue back towards the downside, possibly as low as $10. So if we do see Solana's price starting to pump here as a result of what we are seeing on this daily chart prime oscillator, definitely do proceed with caution. Now, let me tell you the thing that I would be more excited about. Let me tell you what I hope happens here. Now, what I hope happens here is that we are capable of seeing the price of Solana continue to pull back, or maybe just slowly, gradually keep cooling down and retrace some of this wick over the next week, right? This is best case scenario to me. Let me explain why. Well, typically speaking, except for a very small few instances, Solana will do something called eating the wick. Now, in general, in crypto, this is a wick, okay? A wick is whenever you have a close that happens well above or below, depending on what type of candle we're talking about, the actual price movement of that day. So as you can see here, the price of Solana got all the way down here, but by the time we closed, we were back up here, creating this line, which is called a wick, okay? Now, generally speaking, Solana has a tendency to do something called eat the wick, in which you create a wick, you get a close, but then you start to see the price pull back on these, next couple of days, next couple of weeks, and pull through this wick, calling it an eating the wick. Okay, let me show you a few examples. Now, one example was back here in which we didn't really do it. And that is something to highlight, that at the bottom of this move to the downside, we didn't eat the wick. So that could be a little bit of something to pay attention to, but let's look at some other examples. Of course, we had a mini wick right here in which Solana, of course, ate this wick very clearly. Although we did get the close and a bounce, we immediately came back down over the next few weeks and we ate the wick. We can go back a little bit further and look to see what happened back here. Of course, we created this wick right here. And although we did get a bounce, which is what I'm afraid of right now, we did get that pullback to the downside and we ate the wick. Going forward, of course, we had a little bit of a little mini wick get eaten here, which was a very similar situation in which we created a wick, bounced, but pulled back immediately over the next few weeks and ate the wick. Of course, we can continue forward and it does continue over and over and over again. As we can see here, this was a bit of a more macro example. We created this wick here, we got the bounce, but we did eventually come back to eat the wick. We did the same one here, we got a bounce, came back to eat the wick. As you can see, I don't need to continue to go. There are a few instances in which it does not happen, but in most instances, such as this one, of course, when you create wicks like this, you will usually go back down to eat the wick. And so I'm in a position in which I hope, honestly, that we get this over with now, and we do start to see the price of Solana just starting to pull back and getting to a point in which we can get the full reset on the price. Let it come back towards $12.50. Let it come back to $13. Let it get that full support establishment. Let this continue to happen here on the daily chart prime oscillator, in which we do get our blue peak finder printing, in which we do get our oversold signal printing, in which we do get some more bullish divergence forming. Let that happen. Let us establish a strong case, a strong establishment of support, a strong foundation at this level, and then we can get the more macro move to the upside, which I think would then be able to hold. That would be a beautiful correction, a beautiful Fibonacci retracement to the 618 to 786 bugs, and I would definitely be in a position in which if we come back down towards these levels approaching June 27th, I would be confident to start buying some more Solana in anticipation that some type of more macro bounce to the upside happen. But I would not personally be buying before June 27th because I would, again, be shocked if the selling from Robinhood does not impact the price at all. Now, likelihood is, again, I don't think it's going to be catastrophic. I think that the selling from Robinhood is going to be much more of a, a sell the rumor, buy the news event than many people expect. Because again, on the opposite side, when it's good news, it's buy the rumor, sell the news. But when it's a bad piece of news, it's usually sell the rumor, buy the news. And so I think when the news drops, or in this case, when Robinhood actually sells some of their crypto, people are going to be buying because they want to get in at the lower prices that realistically might not really come. Okay. And so with that in mind, again, I'm going to be looking to see if we can get some support establishment back towards the 618 to 786 box. Best case scenario is we do not get a bounce before then. We just continue downwards. Okay. So watch very closely, very, very closely. If we start to bounce, likely bad news. If we continue down, likely good news. Okay, now, as all of this does play out, I will be doing all of my trading over on Phemex. They are a new partner of the channel. You can get a $50 welcome bonus right now with up to 100 million XPT being airdropped out to users. I do believe that they have a lot of potential, and as we do continue with the channel, as we go forward, I'm going to let you guys know all of the incentives that they have. Of course, this is an exchange, but they are going to be launching their own exchange token very soon, and they're giving people a lot of opportunities to get in on the ground floor of that token. And of course, many of us have seen exchange tokens go up by the millions. And so I am expecting a lot of people to make a lot of money here, but obviously there is an inherent risk with anything you do. But I do believe it would be worth, go get some trading done, get you some XPT, which I will explain in a future video, and also go get your welcome bonus. There's no point in not doing so. It's free money, especially in this market. It could be something that could make you even more money. So definitely go take advantage of it with the link in the description below. But with that in mind, guys, I am going to continue to update you as this all does play out. I will let you know what starts to happen in 2, 3, 4 days. I'm going to make another Solana update as this price does start to move so that I can let you know, hey, we're looking good, or hey, be very cautious right now. Okay, so with that in mind, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Of course, if you did, you can always let me know by subscribing to the channel to tell me that you want to see more, and I will see you all next time. Peace.